Now this for everybody fighting through the pain and the pressure. You know life and try to test you, but you promise not to give up for your mama and your sister, and your brother and your cousin, everybody else that's with you. You the one that's gonna deliver like Amazon Prime. Always on time, yeah. Even when it's looking bad, I never stop trying, cause I've been stressing, I've been crying. My depression had me blind. Sometimes I can't see the signs, but I keep going, I ain't lying. This for everyone that's grinding for their kids, you're not alone. This for every child that promised they gon' buy their mama home. For all my 9-to-5ers going hard to make that green. Clock out, then you just go harder, cause you still got chase that dream. For all my starving, evolving artists, just keep going hard, regardless how people talking about us. You gon' build that startup.
To put that out in the world. I've been working really hard for the past few months, putting my blood, sweat, and tears into that course. So I can't wait to share with everyone. Let me actually just show you really quick. My website's finally updated. So if you want to go ahead and check it out. Hi, KDJ. Am I on mute? Can you hear me? Oh no. Can you hear me? Am I on mute? Shoot, hold on. Let me see. Oh, no. Am I on mute? Can you guys hear me? Let me know. Am I on mute? Oh, you can hear me. Okay, perfect. I'm launching my course, Be a LinkedIn Career Celeb. I'm going to be showing a preview. If you want to check out a preview of my course, go ahead and register for my free masterclass tomorrow. I'm going to be sharing some of my favorite tips on job search strategy, networking. Yay, you guys can hear me. Awesome. I'm going to go ahead and put the link in the comments if you want to register. Would love to see you there. I may also be having another masterclass next Monday because I'm going to be on vacation. Thank you, KDJ, for letting me know. But I'm so excited to start off this pre-launch week with my very special guests. We've known each other now for almost, I think, a little bit over a year officially. She was actually one of the very first coaches I worked with. I'm here today because of her, because she saw something in me, and we decided to work together. And I'm so excited to welcome Ediana Rosen to the classroom.
Hello. Hello.
Oh my God, it's finally happening after a year. You are on my live.
It is. I cannot believe it. What a full circle moment.
Full circle moment. And I think you're like the perfect person to teach this lesson on how to be a LinkedIn Celeb and network.
I cannot wait. I am so excited. You know how passionate I am about networking, how much I love talking about it. Cannot wait to hear all of the questions and be able to help everyone on here. And this is just a perfect introduction to your amazing course that's coming up.
Yes, I'm so excited. And this is the woman behind the scenes. Actually, before we share our story, let's hop on Instagram.
Yes, let's do that before we forget.
We are double dipping here, everyone.
About networking.
Oops, sorry. Give me 1 second. We are trying to go live on Instagram as well as double dipping here on LinkedIn before let me see here. I've only done this a couple of times. Let's see. I'm going to go live. I think, am I live? I don't know. In the meantime, let us know if you have any questions about networking or anything LinkedIn related. Okay, I'm going live at E.
Okay.
And then we're going to go ahead and share our story, how we met, and then kind of get straight into the lesson.
Okay, great. Let me ask to join.
Yes, I'm also going to add my link right here if you want to register for tomorrow's workshop. There's still spaces there. I see you. Hold on. I think you have to request to join.
There you go.
Okay, awesome.
Perfect.
Okay, how do I do this? View request. Okay. There you are.
Hi.
Echo. Okay, let me slow this down. Hi, everyone on Instagram. If you want to watch us on LinkedIn or YouTube, go to my website or my link tree. Oh, shoot. I do not know how to use Instagram. One second. I just exited out. There it goes. Okay. Hi, Keisha. I see you in the chat. Okay. We have a full house here. Okay. How do we start? How do we start our story, Eddie?
I think we can start by just sharing how you and I met. So it's, I think, over a year that we've met each other, and we actually came across each other through Instagram, actually.
Yes. So, oh, hi, Shevas, my client, one of my clients here. Shevas, I'm going to Hawaii in August. I hope to see you. Yes. So, story is I got laid off in April of last year. Was really lost and confused, was going through some anxiety, depression, didn't know what I wanted to do next. Always had an interest of doing career coaching because of my recruiting background. And then somehow Ediana and I got connected on Instagram, and I loved how Eddie was showing up on Instagram and LinkedIn, like fully herself, so much energy, passionate. And I kind of saw myself in you. And I was like, I want to do what she's doing, but I don't know how to start. And that's when the conversation started to happen, like it's through the DMs of Instagram. And fast forward today, this woman, Ediana, she has been like the brainchild behind the brand of Build with June Coaching. She was with me from the very beginning, helped me build my business. We worked together, I think, for like 3 to 4 months, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember Eddie because I just celebrated my 1-year anniversary of my posting the first video. Do you remember when I called you or we were sending you voice notes? And I'm like, I can't believe I did this.
I remember how we were just going back and forth with voice notes on your phone, even through the weekend and everything. Me just kind of like cheering you on, and you had like just so much like energy to put out in the world, but you were just self-conscious about, oh, what are people gonna say? You know, I've always been so corporate. Are people going to judge me? I don't know. And then I told you, I said, well, that's what makes you stand out. It's just you being you, putting whole June out there for the world to see. And I cannot believe that it's been 12 months. It's insane how time flies and how freaking proud you should be of yourself for showing up, trusting the process. Because sometimes in the beginning, things can be messy. You know, you're doubting yourself mentally, and you just need to believe in yourself and have the right support system around you. And usually things just fall into place. But it's funny that you said that you saw yourself in me, because a lot of people don't know this. I think this is the first time I'm going to share. So everyone here's for a treat. But I had a really similar experience. So I actually came out of the pandemic from a very toxic work environment that I was in. And I just didn't know how to get out of it, because especially for us recruiters, you know, career coaches and hiring managers, HR people, I feel like we believe to the outside world that we're immune to those things, but we're still able to go through an interview and be fooled about the environment that we're going to be in. And so I just didn't know how to get out of it, because I used to just blame myself. Like, how could I have gotten myself here? So I was doubting myself as of whether I was going to go out or not. And then literally the pandemic hit, and bam, my job was laid off, eliminated. I was like, God, you listened to my prayers, because even though like it was a tough time for all of us, I think that was the break I needed mentally in order for me to get out of my shell and realize that being in a toxic environment like that wasn't really my fault. It was not something that I really wanted to put myself in, right? And then from there, you know, you actually got me through tough times too, believe it or not.
Oh my goodness, Eddie.
Because, yeah, I mean, coming out of a toxic work environment, it does affect your mental health a lot more than you want to admit. And, you know, you come out of there with very low self-esteem, believing that you don't have anything to add to the world, believing that you're not good at your job, believing that, you know, these people gaslight you all the time when you're in a toxic work environment. But having you by my side, we were helping each other, believe it or not, because you were always all the time telling me how I was able to help you get to where you are today. And then that just gave me confidence as well in my abilities to just show up for people, because that's what I do the best, and to bring the best in people by asking the right questions. But I'm a true believer that you are here for your own merit, and you should give yourself a lot more praise and grace than you give yourself. That's
Oh
for
my
sure.
goodness. Thank you so much, Eddie. I see a lot of comments here. I see Maria says sometimes you get scared to get out of your comfort zone. That's so true. And that's why sometimes you just need to take a leap of faith and invest in yourself. And that's what I did too. I took a little bit of my severance package, invested in coaching with Eddie. It was the best investment that I've ever made. And you have to invest in yourself. If you want to grow, if you want to, land a job faster, if you want to build a business, have no idea where to start, get yourself a coach. Because I told this to Eddie the other day, and I always say this too. In order for me to grow all of my clients and help them succeed, I need to grow myself, right? So I have been fortunate to work with coaches such as Eddie and other coaches this past year. But it's always important to really push yourself outside of your comfort zone. So thank you. And then what have you been up to since, because I mean, you're part of the biggest reasons why I was on LinkedIn is because you helped me. Everything that I've learned and what I've been doing on LinkedIn is because of Eddie. So, and I know you took a little bit of time off, but can you kind of just share like how important it is to take that time off if you need it, just to kind of reflect and rejuvenate? And what was that past year for you like?
Absolutely. Well, thank you for asking, June. Yeah, definitely. I was full on LinkedIn and many other social media platforms to the point where I was burning myself out. And even though I didn't get to burnout per se, I just was having, some background stuff happening with my family, personal life. And I just wanted to go back to be grounded. I needed to ground myself a little bit more to understand what was important to me, what direction I wanted to go into in order for me to gain perspective. So sometimes in order for you to gain perspective, you have to take a step back to be able to see the big picture, right? Because sometimes you're just so embedded into the day-to-day, the admin stuff and the busy work that you forget what's important. Sometimes you forget that there's other things in the world that you should be caring for. So getting out of the toxic work environment, be able to help you and some other people, really find their passion and what it is that they're good at. I realized that I needed time for myself and my family. In that time frame, I also got pregnant with my second daughter. So it was just time for me to just enjoy the pregnancy and take care of myself at that time, which is where I took a step back. However, this is a great segue to our topic today about networking, because one, our relationship is true testament to what networking can do for you. Really finding professional friendships and even beyond that, because you and I have had like really personal conversations too. So I think that the two of us are a testament of how important networking is. But also me taking that break, I was still getting recruiters in my inbox reaching out to me like, hey, I got this role that I thought you would be a great fit for, or hey, let's jump on the phone to chat about new opportunities and things like that. And that happened because we took the time to nurture that relationship without expecting anything in return, right? We were literally just supporting each other in the network, engaging with each other's content, sending each other articles that we thought the other person would find helpful, always remembering, a holiday or something like that, and just always have that person in mind. And so when you are ready to take a break, or when you're in a tough place mentally or at work, the time that you least expect it is when they're going to come back and tell you, hey, I have an offer. And I was like, what? I haven't even applied for jobs, which is why it's so important that you are teaching job seekers how to do this successfully, for sure.
Yeah, to network, build your brand. And I'm having a full circle moment right now, because Julie is actually one of my first business clients. So I'm helping her build her personal brand on LinkedIn.
Hi, Julie. Welcome.
Hi, Julie.
Hello.
And I want to give a shout out to her because she posted a video today. I'm so proud of her. But this is actually the importance, too, of just showing up for yourself. Because like you said, Eddie, when you were coaching me, you're also helping yourself, right? It's almost it became very therapeutic for you, right? And that's how I feel, too, with my clients. And with Julie, she has been following me like since I've started my business. She was always sending me messages, telling me that, showing up and being myself, embracing my motherhood journey, as well as building my business, just showing up authentically and vulnerable, helped her overcome some fears. And now we're working together. And this is a full circle moment, because that's what I saw when I saw you on my LinkedIn. on my Instagram, right? So now I'm helping Julie like build her. It's just kind of crazy. What do you think about that?
I mean, it's what I was saying earlier, it's just a full circle moment, and how sometimes you just surround yourself with the right people and things just start to fall into place when you least expect it. So for me, I was coming out of this toxic work environment, and then you were coming out of a place that you loved, and then you lost because of the unprecedented times that we were going through. And so we were both going through the same thing mentally because of different reasons. And we happened to find each other through strength of showing up this in spite of what we were going through. Because even though you said like, oh, I saw you showing up and I saw myself in you, I saw you showing up too. And like how unapologetic you were about just showing up as you, dancing and singing and doing all these amazing fun things that you have no other choice but to smile. Like every time I see your videos and the way that you show up is just so authentic with the way that you speak. I just feel like the enthusiasm in your voice, and I just absolutely love to watch it, just because sometimes when you're in a bad mood and you see people just show up the way they are. Actually, there's somebody on TikTok, I forget his name, but his whole TikTok is about starting off with a serious face and just giving the most beautiful big smile, and you have no choice but to smile too, because you see and it's like, oh my God, it's so contagious. And that's exactly what your energy is like when you show up on video, which is why I'm so happy and glad that you were able to step into that a year ago. And even though you were channeling yourself through me, I was channeling myself through you.
Oh my God, I love it. It's like a chain reaction, magnetic chain reaction. I want to say hi to Gabrielle really quick. She's on Instagram. She's also a client of mine. Hey everyone, if you want to watch us on LinkedIn or YouTube for the full classroom experience, go to my LinkedIn and YouTube. Oh my God, I'm just loving this conversation.
And drop your questions, please.
Yes, let us know what questions you have for networking, but let's go into the lesson. I'm so glad that you're finally here. I'm telling you, this is going to be the first of many collaborations, because us together, I'm hoping to have Harlene too join us.
Yes, oh my God, Harlene, yes.
So much fun. But let's go into the lesson tonight. Mrs. Rosen. We actually kind of share the same dream of becoming a teacher. We're both teachers. We just teach on LinkedIn, right? Mm-hmm. Let's talk about the don'ts of networking and the importance of networking. I think like for many job seekers, I mean, they look at LinkedIn as just another place to apply for positions, right? Mm-hmm. It's so much more than that. It's a great place. Everyone that's in the community, I'm preaching about this all the time. LinkedIn is more than a job board. It's a great place for you to connect, collaborate, share your experience, share your story, because there's over 740 million people on LinkedIn, and all those people also include senior level executives, directors, decision makers. So you never know who's watching your content, reading your content. And Eddie just shared with me too. I don't know if you shared this just now, but she landed 4 offers, right? And she didn't even apply for those positions. The majority of my roles in tech, I was referred in, or I networked with someone on LinkedIn. So what is your like take on that, as far as like the importance, like let's talk about the importance of networking and then go into like the don'ts of networking.
Yes, for sure. So first, we have all of the offers that can be knocking on your door, right? So I was not looking for any jobs. I was literally showing up on LinkedIn. 1 second. Okay, can you still hear me?
I still hear you. Is there echo, everyone that's watching on LinkedIn?
There was a little bit of an echo.
Okay, I'm going to put this down on, lower it down on Instagram. Okay.
Awesome. So first, it's just those offers kind of knocking on your door, first of all, which is huge, because that not only makes you marketable beyond belief. So I have a trick for you guys. So this is how you're going to make yourself even more marketable when you have people knocking on your door. So when a recruiter reaches out to you saying, hey, I see your profile, I think it's amazing, you would be a great fit for this role, the first thing I say, which is usually true, oh, absolutely, I would love to chat with you. I'm not currently looking for anything, but I'm always open to having conversations. So this just makes you a lot more marketable, because, is there a phone near?
Yeah, there is a phone near. Did you hear an echo? We may just actually hop on off Instagram, or let me just move it away.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So what I did was I muted my computer and I'm listening to you.
And
no more echo? Okay, they say no more echo.
Okay. Hey, people on Instagram, go watch us on LinkedIn or YouTube for the full online classroom experience. Oh, Instagram people, I'm also having a free workshop tomorrow. Go and register. Link is in the bio. Look at me trying to double dip here. Okay, I put the phone away from the speakers. Okay, perfect.
Okay. I think Lena says no more echo, so I think that we're good.
Okay, perfect.
Awesome. So as I was saying, I think that is just a great way to put yourself in a position where they're reaching out to you and you are technically saying, listen, I'm not currently looking or considering positions, but I'm always open to having conversations. One, that opens up the door for you to connect with them. Actually, today, 2 recruiters reached out to me that weren't connected to me at all. They just saw my profile, wanted to connect. And even though I wasn't interested in the roles that they were putting in front of me, I still said, I still want to connect with you and engage with you and, for future references. And that if it's a role is really not something that interests you at all. Now, if the role seems sort of interesting, I would recommend you jump on a phone call with them because you just never know, even if you are not interested in jumping ships or just getting a new job, right? Yes. That's first. The reason why that's so important is because everyone in this room, without exception, knows how stressful job searching can be. Job searching by yourself with no help of a professional can be extremely time-consuming, a roller coaster of emotions. It could be literally throwing spaghetti on the wall and see what sticks. And it can be a full-time job to apply for new roles. So how amazing would it be for you to build yourself in a network where you have people knocking on your door, quote unquote, your inbox, without you even thinking that those roles are posted? Because most of the time when a recruiter reaches out to you on the down low, on the DM, it means that role is not posted yet. Because the way that recruiters work is that they reach out to either people in their network first, or they headhunt candidates who are potentially a good fit for the role before they even post it. Because the biggest nightmare that we recruiters have is posting a role and getting hundreds of applicants, and 85% of them are not even qualified. Right. So that is the reason why we love to connect, to network, to build that rapport in that pipeline of people so that when we do have roles available, we can go ahead and reach out to them. That is the importance of networking, not only as a recruiter, but the other person on the other side. Because one, you have the advantage that recruiters are always looking to build their pipelines. Recruiters are always looking to build relationships and to make connections. So that is something that you should always be using to your advantage, especially in a place like LinkedIn. LinkedIn is not just for job searching. LinkedIn is not just for you to see what your coworker is doing after they moved on from the job that you know them from. LinkedIn is a place for you to engage. And to be honest, I have been testing out the algorithm, and I know for a fact that when you engage on LinkedIn, you happen to appear on more searches. I tested it and it works, because while I took that break on like 3-4 months that I was not showing up on LinkedIn at all or engaging at all, I didn't get any messages. I don't think that people were looking at my profile because my profile wasn't popping up. But as soon as I come back and I tell the algorithm, hey, I'm here, I'm using your platform, I'm active. And active means you don't have to be posting content if you don't feel comfortable. Content in LinkedIn is considered to be engaging with others. So if you are commenting on people's stuff, if you are DMing people, if you are showing up to lives and commenting on people's lives, that is considered to be content creation on LinkedIn, which literally blows my mind every single time I think about it. And that helps you get boosted in the algorithm, which means that when I look for somebody that has certain skills, if you happen to have those skills and you're also active on the platform, chances are is that you are going to appear on the first page, which is what happens to me as a candidate myself. Those are the main things that I want to talk about when it comes to why networking is so important. June, I wanted to see if you wanted to add something to that.
No, yeah, I absolutely agree. It's like you kind of touched on like an important topic there. Like recruiters are always proactively trying to build their relationships with potential candidates. As you know, like sometimes the majority of the applications that are coming through, they're not going to be the best match. And like you said, everyone's talking about like the hidden job market. Right. Typically when a recruiter gets a role, they meet with the hiring manager. They usually, like for me, when I ask my manager, I always ask them, like, what are the qualifications I'm looking for? And I always ask them, who do you know that I can reach out to on LinkedIn? Right. Or maybe I can connect with some of your direct reports and see if they have anyone in mind. Or maybe you got on a networking call a few months ago with a potential like future hire. So people are always going to have people in mind for the positions. So that's why it's really important, especially too if you want to get into your dream company. Instead of waiting for your dream job to get posted, you need to proactively network and plant those seeds, like you said. So when that hiring manager has that approved role that they want to hire for, you're going to be top of mind, right? Yeah.
Exactly. And not even just for jobs, but like people who want to have a personal brand. And, considering that this is known to be the passion or the gig economy, a lot of people have additional income aside from their full-time jobs. And the way that you can do that is by being on LinkedIn. So for example, I know that you have had this happen to you as well, June, on colleges reaching out to you and say, hey, I want you to teach my students how to network on LinkedIn or how to utilize LinkedIn to their advantage. And I've actually had the amazing honor to present at my alma mater probably 3 times already at the actual graduating class on how to show up on LinkedIn, how to talk to hiring managers, how to find hiring managers. Because sometimes I feel like if you're not in the business of recruiting and hiring, you might not know how to put one and one together and say, okay, this role is an HR coordinator role. I should think about that maybe an HR manager is the hiring manager for that, because an HR coordinator usually potentially would report to an HR manager, right? So all of those things are essential skills that we should all be teaching in school, but unfortunately, we are not being taught that, at least not here in the States. And so showing up online and building that network, I think can open so many doors, not just for jobs, but for many other things. Because again, I have connections from LinkedIn from back in the day when I was in college. And I actually just had a referral for somebody from a huge Fortune 500 company. Somebody connected me to somebody else and my resume got passed along and I got bumped into the line when hundreds of people were applying, because it's a big company, to get an interview with the VP. So if I wouldn't have had that connection from there, I mean, none of that would have happened. So, I mean, I can just go on and on and on about all the benefits that you and I have had from networking effectively on LinkedIn. But yeah, those are the big reasons why networking is so important, aside from just getting a job and opportunities. I see some questions here.
I see Lena asking,
what do you recommend for those wanting to transition confidentially? Perfect.
That's a good question.
That is a great question.
Yeah. Are you thinking about doing a career pivot? Is that what you're asking, Lena? I'm assuming yes. What's your advice before I share mine?
Yeah. So your best friends are going to be recruiters, because usually recruiters, they have a lot of confidentiality. And something that we should understand that when it comes to recruiters, there are 2 types of recruiters. There's in-house recruiters, corporate in-house recruiters, and recruiters that are from agencies. Recruiters from agencies usually have confidential searches for big firms and big companies. And the way to do that is by just making friends with them and let them know, hey, I'm interested in reaching out to you because I'm interested in changing careers, or I want to transition to this part. And I know that you really are an expert in here, or you help other companies hire for that type of role. Just wanted to let you know that confidentially, I am looking for that. On top of that, LinkedIn has a feature that you can let recruiters know, people who have access to LinkedIn Recruiter, that you are open for positions, that you're open for opportunities. And the way that you can do that is by going to your settings on LinkedIn and just setting it up that you are open. And then they ask you what type of roles you're open for. And then you just kind of type in the titles. And when I'm a recruiter on LinkedIn Recruiter and I'm looking for people, I can see that you are open for roles, but only I confidentially can see that. So that's another way, aside from actually connecting and making relationships that way.
Yeah, I agree.
Let me know if that's what you were looking for, Lena.
Yeah, that definitely, like, you could definitely put that indicator on that you're open to work and then list the positions. I know that there's like some, clients of mine too, that I was working with, actually with one of my clients that wanted to be very private about their search, was really like hesitant about optimizing their LinkedIn profile. But at the end of the day, you got to do what's best for you. And if you're thinking of making a career pivot, then you have to start showing up on LinkedIn, optimize your profile, and then make it easier for recruiters to find you and connect with them on LinkedIn, and then proactively reach out to them as well. And then if you're looking to make like a pivot into a new company, start networking not only with the recruiting team, just because, Eddie and I, we've received so many messages as recruiters on a weekly, daily basis. And then also on top of that, we're sourcing on LinkedIn. We are reviewing applications. So my suggestion too, Lena, is like not only like putting that open to work, or you're open to these particular positions, start networking with I think you're actually, I'm looking at your LinkedIn profile right now. If you're like in leadership development, if you're looking to get into develop like career development at particular schools or companies, start reaching out to those people that are in those departments proactively, because that way you can kind of bypass the recruiter. Because companies also pay employee bonus referrals as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then something else, Lina, that I wanted to mention, which I agree with June. There's a lot of people that want to search confidentially and they're scared of optimizing their profile, which is why it's so important for you to do it like yesterday, right? Like just slowly start building on slowly start building on your profile in a way that's not going to be obvious, and always make sure that when you are updating that you click off update your network, because you don't want everyone to get a blast that you're changing your title or changing anything on your description. So make sure you always toggle that off. That's first. And second, just do it slowly. Like, the first week you go to your skills section and then just add skills that are going to be trigger words for the job that you want. Then the next week you go in and put in the description of the job that you had, transferable skills that are very transferable to the job that you want to be in. And a great resource that you can use is JobScan.com. You can go in there and kind of type in some of the current skills that you have, and then they will tell you, they will help you analyze what other jobs you might qualify for. That will give you an idea of where you can switch industries to and what type of keywords you should be adding into your profile. Believe it or not, I know that it's hard for us to believe, but people are so self-centered that people are not paying as much attention as you think they are. So sometimes you might think like, oh, I don't want people thinking that I'm like updating my profile. I don't want them to know that I'm looking. LinkedIn has become such a, it's becoming a little bit more of a social place for people to engage with one another, much more so than, oh, you're looking for a job if you're on LinkedIn. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Which is why it's so important. It's important to kind of teach your managers. I'm on LinkedIn because I want to build relationships and I want to meet people. And so by the time that you get a job, they're not even going to know that it happened. And that's another great way to do it confidentially. Yeah. Oh my God, Harlene. Hello, girl.
I know Harlene has become one of my business BFFs, and it's because of you, Eddie. Congrats
oh my God,
you,
Lina says, I hear about options, but lots of people want to leave their toxic work environment and want to live confidentially.
Bye,
Felicia. Oh my God, I love that hashtag. I want to
answer this question from Jessica, because I get this asked often from candidates, from job seekers. I'm going to share my 2 cents here, and then I want to hear yours. So Jessica asked, there's mixed reviews about the open to work ribbon, like that circle around your picture. Yeah. What is your take, either of you? So talking to some of my recruiter friends, there may be a little bit more bias, because they may see that candidates are actively that are actually working full time may be a little bit more desirable. I actually think it makes it easier for recruiters to see that you're interested in new opportunities. So when I'm looking at LinkedIn Recruiter, I'm going to go straight to your profile that says open to work, because I know that you're interested. But you want to do you could also beta test it too. You could have it 1 week where you don't have the open to work ribbon and see if you've been getting reached out, and then switch it up the next week and see, what's the, how many messages you're getting from removing that frame. What is your advice there, Eddie?
Yeah, that's a great question, by the way. I do remember when LinkedIn first came out with it last year, there was a huge debate on the platform among recruiters and hiring managers and everyone. So this answer is a twofold, and I don't have a straight answer for you because it depends on the person. So for me personally, let's remove the recruiter side of me. I'm just Eliana Rosen, a job seeker. I think that LinkedIn did it with the best intentions to help job seekers connect easier and faster with recruiters, to say, hey, I'm available, I want to talk to you. Don't have to, go through the bushes, just go directly to me because I'm telling you I'm interested in finding a new job. I get that. I understand that. And if I put the recruiter back in me, I also understand, because the thing about the ribbon is that it goes with the negative connotation of you might be unemployed, which a lot of people in the industry have I guess, put a bad connotation on, like, if you're unemployed, you're not desirable. But I'm a true testament that that's not true, because again, I was unemployed for almost a whole year, and I'm still getting knocks on my door of saying, hey, I have an offer for you. The reason why I have a double standard with that is because I see both sides. The side on my end as a mother, somebody who needed to take time off, I say people need to come to the realization that we're all humans. We're all humans. We need time off. We have the right to take time off. And we're not expected to work literally for 50 years straight without taking a break. Like, we're not robots. And I think that that's where we have to kind of go towards now with the job seeking industry, of really being more human and more empathetic towards those people looking for jobs, who took time off to care for a family member, who took time off to care for their mental health, who took time off to raise a family, who took time off to literally just, I don't know, find a new house. Like, people need to be more understanding of that, which is why I was a little bit against people being so uproar about the ribbon. Like, don't put that there because people are not going to take you seriously. But it's like, well, why not? I still have skills that I can share with others, regardless of whether I was being unemployed or not. Like, we all have different situations in our lives that are, I guess, good excuses as to why you're not in the workplace. However, on the other side of me, what I want to be clear is that we're only one person, and unfortunately, we're unable to change the world. And majority of people feel as though if you are unemployed, you're not as marketable as somebody who already has a job. So in my sincere opinion, I think that we're still not, I think we're ahead of our times. Mm-hmm. And I don't recommend my clients to put that on there just because they could be judged the wrong way, or there's biases towards it, right? So for me, putting the ribbon or putting it on your headline, like open to opportunities, I don't recommend that. I think that if I were a recruiter, and I've recruited people who have the ribbon, and I have no issues at all. Like, I don't care. The majority of my hiring managers do care about that. So the majority rules, unfortunately. So I would say don't use it, just because people are still going to reach out to you whether you have that or not, if you have the right keywords, which is why it's important that you join June's course.
My masterclass tomorrow and my LinkedIn Career to Celeb course, because I'm going to show you how to optimize your profiles to have those keywords. And then when you have, I think also too, like my biggest tip too, is if you don't have time to optimize your LinkedIn profile, at least optimize your headline with as many keywords related to your the targeted roles that you want to apply to, because that's going to be the first thing that recruiters see in the recruiter results. But I loved your advice there too. I mean, I definitely understand like the bias there with the open to work, and other than like the ribbon, there is those features where you could put open to work or open to work and the roles that you are targeting. So yeah, there's definitely a variety in different ways that you could actually flag it to recruiters that you are on the market. Great question. Great answer there. Lena says, I followed both of your advice and was offered a job and consulting contract. Congratulations. I am able to do both.
That's amazing.
A job and a consulting contract. That's great.
Congratulations. You're killing it, Lena.
Awesome. Okay, what is I have to get wrapped up because it's dinner time here in the Bay Area. What is your last don't? Ooh, let's talk about this really quickly, like 5 minutes on this topic, because we talked about it before we hopped on live. When you go into networking expecting something right away, whether it's a connection, whether it's a referral, whether it's an endorsement, right? It's really important to build relationships first before you start asking for that referral. You just talked about that experience just before we hopped on live. Do you want to share really quickly?
Yes, absolutely. So a huge don't that we have with networking is that you have got to leave your expectations at the door. Right. When you are networking with people, you should leave your entitlement at the door and your expectations at the door, because we all have busy lives. We all want to help others, but understanding that it should be a two-way street. And I know sometimes it was like, oh, well, is it really genuine if you are going into the networking knowing that you're going to be asking for something eventually? Well, no, not really, because you actually are putting in the work to build that relationship. And that's what all we care about. I actually will give you an example, which is what June was referring to. I had somebody connect with me, and as soon as I accept the request with a really nice personalized message, I was like, yes, personalized message, I love it. And then as soon as I accept, they right away bombard me with, hey, I saw a role at your company. Can you look at my resume? Or, hey, I saw that you're connected with this person. Can you introduce me? And it's like, whoa, hello, damn, it's 7 a.m. Like, the Taylor Swift song. Like, you just got here. Like, dude, take a break. That's a huge no-no. It's a huge turnoff because, again, It's not like you're going on a date with a guy or a woman for the first time and you're going to say, let's get married. That's exactly how that feels when you reach out to somebody and right away, without you even know their last name, you're already asking them to do you a favor. And people sometimes get upset when you say, sorry, right now I don't have the time, or let's build a relationship first, especially because referrals are such a personalized thing. If I don't know you, if I don't know your work ethic, I don't want to put my name out there.
You don't want to put your stamp of approval
without knowing what type of person you are. You know what I mean? That is the reason why we put a stop to that, because we have a reputation that we need to protect, not only with our hiring managers, but with everyone else in the community that we serve, with the knowledge that we are sharing. Something else that people have really gotten comfortable at is just reaching out to you for endorsements. And they have not ever engaged with your content. They have not ever introduced themselves. They have not ever told you what they're all about. And so endorsements are meant to be a validation for everyone else looking at you. And they're supposed to be valid from somebody who knows that you actually know how to do that skill. So if you're reaching out to me and telling me, hey, can you endorse me? And I'll endorse you back. Respectfully, thank you so much for offering. That's totally unnecessary, but I only endorse people whom I've either worked with, know in life, or have connected with in the past, whom I actually know that they can do that, because I don't want to put my name out there and say, oh yes, this person speaks French, when I don't know if they speak French. That reflects bad on me, and it just damaged my credibility. So the big no-nos with networking is earning your right to ask for a favor, for sure.
Yes, I love that. Also, too, like if you're connecting with someone with the intention of asking them for help, start seeing if they're actively posting on LinkedIn, and start building community by commenting on their articles, their texts. Offer your perspective too if they're sharing. Like that's what I did too as well. Like when I was starting off my coaching business, I started following people that I've admired, and because I built those relationships, they became mentors in my business, right? So go into, like, if you go in a position where you're not expecting anything, and just go into a place where you are just building that relationship and planting those seeds and fostering that relationship, then you will overcome like the fear of networking by asking something right away for help, right? So Lena says, thank you, ladies, I admire your work, you are such a blessing. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Are you, Lena? Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you everyone on Instagram for tuning in.
Yes, thank you.
I'm so excited for my launch of my course. Please register on my website right here. What's next for you, Eddie, before we wrap up?
Yeah, so you should expect to continue to see me showing up on LinkedIn. Yay! I love video, so you probably will see tons of video on your timeline. Please do connect with me if you have seen me for the first time here. I am so happy to welcome new connections into my network. And my plans is just to continue to serve the community by, keeping up to date with the industry, and just providing my knowledge and everything that I find, and definitely tips for job seekers, because I know how hard it is to try to find a new job or getting out of a toxic work environment, not knowing what to start. So always see me as a mentor. If you ever need anything, if you have any questions, please slide into my DMs. I love to talk to people there. And you know where to find me. I'm there every morning and every night, before and after work. So be sure to reach out, and I'm happy to help.
Yeah, I'm actually pulling up TikTok really quick because I want to share your TikTok, because I'm obsessed with your TikTok. Is it Eddie? What is it? What's your handle?
Simply Eddie.
Please follow her if you want quick, actionable advice. Follow Eddie on TikTok, because she offers advice on career, like job search and money. But you're blowing up there too. I mean, you just started on TikTok, and I'm like, Eddie, what is your secret? but you were like the queen of like testing like the algorithm and just experimenting. So I'm gonna drop Eddie's TikTok on the comments. So please connect with her there. I love your content there. And I can't wait to see more of you on LinkedIn.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. You guys, this was my first LinkedIn Live ever. So I'm so happy that June invited me over.
Oh my God, of course. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Go ahead and go to my website to register for my masterclass. And then I will see you soon. Take care. Thank you, Eddie.
Bye everyone. Thank you for joining. Have a wonderful evening.